Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today we have over 50 people in the house listening in, and we have more people joining as it's been announced live within the groups. My name is Adeolu Akiyemi, and I'm excited to have two amazing people here with me on the panel. I am MC today. I have no medical history. I have scientific history in engineering, but I'll be asking the questions because I'm privy to a number of exciting things happening via the Rida range of products in the community. So I have with me today two delectable ladies, and I'm going to introduce them in the order that I would like to. I have on my left on my screen the delectable Dr. Fumi Aino, who has been in medical practice for over 35 years. I saw a post that she sent a few days ago about gratitude, saying she remembers that just a few days ago, it clocked 43 years when she entered into medical school. 43 years is as old as some of us in this. So please help me join me in welcoming Dr. Fumi Aino. Dr. Fumi Aino, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Absolutely. Okay. And we also have and we also have in the room today Temitope Akiyemi. Temitope Akiyemi is a pharmacist by training. She ventured into the world of business or pharmacy some years ago. Post university as a pharmacist, she's been one now for like 19 years. And 19 years doesn't sound like much in a group where 43 is by the side, but 19 is a lot as well. 19 is almost finished university. If I dare say, we have a 19-year-old around us who has finished university. So I'd like to welcome Temitope Akiyemi. She's also the MD of Marvel Natural Products PLC. So Temitope Akiyemi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay, great. So today well done. So today the style is going to be very simple. It's a conversation. And I would like to involve all of us in this conversation. So I will be asking the first 2 or 3 questions, and then I want questions from you. I want testimonies from you. I want you to share testimonies that you have seen before. Let us x-ray them with the eye of science. That's what we want to do at these conferences. We want to look at those testimonies that we have heard before and basically relook at them with the eye of science. I can see Mrs. Oguntu Ashe in the house. If you want to be to get on the panel, because we like to have as many people as we can have on the panel, please let me know so that I can invite you up to the panel. So just show me your hand or show me a comment. I will promote you. Be ready to show your face so that we can have an exciting meeting today. And if you find anybody else who comes on board, please, you're a medical personality, just let me know so that I can promote you and we can have your contributions as well. Okay, so please let me know. I'm not discriminating against anybody. I'm just pulling people as I know. Okay. Rita is here. Yeah, Rita is here, but Rita doesn't want to show her face. I think she's not in a place where she can show her face currently. So that's why Rita was moved into the group. So but if you're here and you're ready to show your face, just hit me up and then we'll pull that up. So the first question I'd like to ask today, and anybody can start this question. There has been loads of testimonies on Rida range for a product that is just over a year in the market. The testimonies are alarming. I have brochures upon brochures upon brochures of monthly testimonies that have been aggregated together, and it's very heartwarming. My question today is, which of the testimonies, and I know it's a difficult question, but which of the testimonies has stood out for you the most and why? Which testimony do you remember from time to time and you wonder, really, how did that happen? What exactly is this? So I'd like you to go through your history of all the testimonies you've seen. The testimonies group, we see testimonies every day. I dare say already we have over 500, close to 1,000 testimonies racked up on Rida's range of products. Which testimony has excited you the most, has scared you the most, has got you wondering the most, and what do you see about that testimony that's just so special? Who wants to start?
I can start.
Okay, great.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, CM. Thank you for inviting me to be here. The testimony that would be the one that struck me the most and touched me the most and excited me the most is the one of the Rida baby. It just has to be that, because it's not just that somebody got pregnant, but we have a live baby to show. And why does it excite me the most? It excites me the most because for a couple to be waiting and trying for 8 years, you know that 8 years is a significant length of time. I know there are people who maybe waited 10 years, 15 years, but if you ask a couple that's waiting 1 year, you know that even 1 year is a long time. So for them to have gone through 8 years, they must have had medical assessments. There must have been something, or there may not have been anything, because infertility, you know, can be due to female factors, male factors, both or none. And there's a concept, I mean, there's a diagnosis called unexplained infertility. And that is where the couple have gone through, I mean, they've been trying without, they've been having unprotected intercourse for 12 months. And then tests have been done on both the man and the woman, and nothing has been found to be wrong. And that's unexplained infertility. And, you know, I don't really know the details of the medical history of this couple, but I've started to think that perhaps unexplained infertility may be the cause here. And when I look at the properties of Rida Herbal bitters, I'm not sure this couple even used variants. I think it was just the bitters. And we find that, I mean, the common property of each of the products is antioxidant. I now start to think, could it be that oxidative stress was actually the cause of their infertility? So I think that's the testimony that has elicited the most thought from me. And so that is it, really.
Wow. Thank you very much, Dr. Fumi. I like to do a little piggy on that, because I realize the implication of what you're saying is there's a whole space of unexplainable infertility that we may just be able to target, you know, or I don't really know the reason, you know, so it may be, yes, male, it may be female, it may be both, it may be none, but for us to have this kind of stories, it's probably worth investigating what effect those antioxidants have and oxidative stress have on infertility.
Definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. Those have been my thoughts. And, you know, I've not actually taken any action, but I've processed this, who have patients who have unexplained infertility. And this might be something where Rida or the Rida range could help.
Awesome. So for those listening out there, you know, if you have people around you who you don't know why, just give them Rida to try it out. You know, who knows? They may be just more evidence for us to be able to make a strong enough case to pursue this line of thinking. Thank you very much, Dr. Fumi.
Welcome.
Okay, Emma, is there any testimony that rocks your world, rocks your mind, and elicits a lot of thought from you? Is there some we are afraid of or scared about or excited about? Please share.
Are you kidding me right now? Okay, well, I'll do Oliver Twist, and I'll do like a 2-in-1, and I'll tell you why I want to give 2 testimonies in one. And that's the fact that, you know, just zooming in, for example, on the bitters, for example, looking at the fact that it can be taken topically, applied topically, and also taken orally, and, you know, the effects will still, you know, work amazingly. That for me is a really strong point. And I'll give 2 testimonies to buttress that fact. The elderly woman in Jos, somewhere in the north, who had the skin cancer issue, and I would say that apart from the fact that you can take it orally and apply Rida topically, one of the most exciting things about testimonies for me is when medical doctors who already made a diagnosis, who already gave a prognosis or whatever, and said, okay, after this time, you really may just need to go home and just pray or look for an alternative way and all of that. That, for example, happened in the two cases that I'll be sharing about. That, and the first one is a woman with the skin cancer whose son is a medical doctor who had been in the hospital, who they had tried, and she wasn't healing, and it was really bad, and she was just told to go home. And I mean, we're just to believe the best that things will work out. And somebody got to know about it and recommended the Rida bitters for her. She took it orally and she applied topically. And over a period of about 4 weeks, the change, the dramatic change in her skin was unexplainable. It was really amazing. And put it side by side, a woman whose testimony had to do with kidney. She had serious kidney issues, and she had been, she had gotten critical, and she had been on the bitters for I think a few weeks, and then had to go back to the doctor for a review. And they referred her to another consultant, referred her to go and do some tests, and they certified that her kidney was fine. I mean, that for me, a reversal on one side. On the other side, the doctor that gave a diagnosis and says, this is the issue, is now having to face it and say, what exactly, what is going on here? So for me, those two testimonies are really strong, and they make me know that, I mean, there are cases out there that, doctors have tried. It doesn't mean that, but there are cases like that doctors have tried on one hand, and it doesn't seem that there seems to be a way out. So there's that category of people as well who have those health challenges, who Rida bitters or Rida range of products have, proven really effective to turn, I mean, really like a 360 turnaround or 180 degrees turnaround for their health. That's really amazing for me. The woman with the skin cancer and then the one with the kidney failure. Very massive, feedback for me. Those ones are really, really strong for me.
Okay, interesting. I like to do something. I'm not sure if this is the woman you're talking about, but I have the skin cancer one here. Is it this one?
Fantastic.
Okay. This is Naomi Ogbe from Makurdi, Benue State.
That's it.
I think the person who was the medical doctor was the son of the person who was looking into it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so for me, the radical change, we've taken pictures with her after, the amazing things that have been done after. And the beautiful thing I like about this is one of those testimonies where we got some medical reports, got some doctors' comments attached. And I think it featured in testimony some months back. I don't know which month this was.
I think July.
But I think this was June or thereabouts, or May. Okay. So, okay, exciting. I think it's exciting that, we have testimonies of cases that possibly there was no solution. So it looks like Dr. Fumi Aino's kind of testimonies as well, where you really can't explain what else to do. You can't really explain what the diagnosis finally was, because somewhere along the line, people had given up and said, this is what the challenge is. And then for you to have a reversal of that. So I think amazing testimony options that we shared. So I'm going to ask people in the house, are there testimonies that you have heard that have been exciting for you? Are there things you have seen that have been wow for you that you would like to ask about and say what exactly happened there? And I have mine, so that while people are trying to pull theirs together, I have mine for you. And Dr. Fumi, I think you should go first on this one, because it's a testimony that you actually have access to the person that has this testimony. And I like this testimony because it's a completely new field. It's a field where we are not really actively looking at, but we got a testimony from there as something that happened with someone. And this person also happens to be a foreigner. Is the testimony about Parkinson's disease. The person that said, they told him that it wasn't reversible, went to the hospital, went back after 6 months, and taken Rida. I know you have the details of that particular testimony because I think it's linked to someone that is linked with you, if I'm correct. So can you please help us shed a little light on that testimony about Parkinson's disease? And what are your thoughts? What did you think through possibly happened there? And Emma, you can get ready for that question as well. Yes, Dr. Fumi.
Thank you. Yes, the person is actually an in-law of mine, and he's a Caucasian, and he's over 70. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease early, but was told specifically that, look, this is likely to be progressive, and he was put on medications. And his wife now thought, okay, she has had a few other testimonies with Rida and just thought, why not try? And they started taking Rida. He started taking Rida, and by the time they went to the hospital, they were surprised. The doctors were surprised that there was no progression, and even a few days ago, this individual told me, oh, we're fine, we're taking the Rida, And again, there's some things that my thoughts are this free radical theory and oxidative stress, because it may be difficult to evaluate the effects, but the fact that it's difficult to evaluate and you can't pinpoint it, but you realize that you take this product that claims, when I say claim, I mean that it has a rich combination of antioxidants, and something like magic is happening. I think that is how we can explain it. I guess we probably more research may need to be done to be able to pinpoint and say this is exactly what it did, but it obviously did something. And before I hand over the microphone, so to speak, I will share one that also stood out for me, and it's a quote unquote small one, and it's the testimony Dr. Onifade shared about him having a paronychia wicklow, and he wanted to incise it. That meant there was pus there. And in our medical training, we are taught that where there is pus, it has to be let out. And he didn't let it out, but he used Rida balm, and it dried up, it resolved. And actually, I had something like that around the same time. It wasn't quite as severe. And so I thought, oh, okay, since this happened with Dr. Nifade, let me use the balm for 2 or 3 days. Maybe it will help. And I used the balm once. And next morning, the pain, it wasn't really swollen, but it was very painful. And I knew something was developing. I didn't have to use the balm more than once. And so that is another small testimony, but big, in that medicine tells us where there is pus, you let it out. But Rida balm is rub Rida balm and it gets resolved.
Amazing. I don't think there's any small testimony. I think somebody says if you want to know how big a problem is, lock yourself in a room with a mosquito, and then you discover that small things can cause big problems. Thank you very much for that. MI, over to you. I have a question. Somebody has already asked a question already.
Okay.
Let's have you.
Yeah. So I just try to quickly do it like a refresher for myself to say, okay, what happens when a person is diagnosed as having Parkinson's disease? And I just look for the simplest way to explain it. And it says that it's caused by a loss of nerve cells in the part of the brain called the substantia nigra. It's a central nervous system thing. So if I look at it and it says that there are some cells that are lost, yeah, and it leads to Parkinson's disease. It's some cells in the brain. I'm looking at the person, for example, who has like a cancer in the leg, or has what do they call this thing? When the person has the diabetic sore, yeah, already there are a lot of things happening at the cellular level. There's loss, yeah. But when it begins to use Rida Herbal bitters, what we discover is that there's like a rebirth. It's like new cells are created, the organs are reformed, and there's full recovery. We see that happening at the physical level, on the topical level. We see that happening for for sores and all of that. So reading about things, I'm trying to use my scientific mind to say, okay, the same thing really could work in the internal level to say that we have said that Rida products work at the cellular level. So if in Parkinson's case, there's a loss of some cells somewhere in the central nervous system, somewhere in the brain. That means there's a capacity for there to be rejuvenation, creation, cells lost by whatever, oxidative stress. I mean, like Dr. Aino put it. So some recreation, some rejuvenation happen to bring about, gradually a rebirth of those cells that have been lost. So I'm trying to, that for me explains further, brings further home the power of readers to be able to mop up oxidative stress and to be able to work at the cellular level to bring about rebirth of what has been lost. That's powerful for me.
Thank you.
That's
amazing. Dr. Fumi, I don't know if I'm going to murder this name. Thank you very much, MI. But you said panikizio. Did you say panikizo?
Paronychia.
Paronychia. Okay, paronychia. So in case
like
somebody's out there,
Wicklow, yeah.
Yeah, if somebody's out there and you want to learn a new word, we just learned one. Paronychia. That's Wicklow. We all need to begin to, arm ourselves. What's that? Is that paronychia? Oh man, I think paronychia is just so much more professional to say than Wicklow. Okay. Dr. Fumi, I know, MI. There are a few questions bumping up. They're bumping up as testimonies, but I'm sure there are questions. Somebody's asking, and he's saying, each time I'm about to sleep and I rub my forehead with a balm, I'm able to sleep well. Why? Why am I able to sleep well? How come? And I like to add to that question because that balm, I don't even understand that balm. That balm, somebody has a headache. You can almost literally tell somebody if you have a headache, just do like this, and in a few minutes, you'll be fine. So why? Why is the balm working like this? What's going on? We know now we know that with the drink, there's oxidative stress, and we know that Rida takes care of a range of things. I'm going to get into some questions very soon. I'm seeing that our sexual nature for Rida Fire and Rida Restore. But this balm, why does this happen? And somebody's also asking about the balm. It says, this balm taking care of boil, I had one in sensitive area. I used the balm on it, and it took care of it. Rida balm is balm. Another person says there's also the fact that your wound leaves no mark. Can we comment on these things? What exactly is likely to be going on?
Okay, let me comment on the first one where he says when he's about to sleep, he uses the balm. Actually, Rida balm contains, in addition to the other ingredients, it contains lavendulo, which is lavender, I believe. And lavender, I can't explain the exact mode of action, but lavender oil is an ingredient that is used in aromatherapy, and it does have a calming effect. So that is what I attribute the calming effect of the balm to. It happens to me as well. When I use the balm, I rub it on my forehead, my nose. I usually just wake up. So that's.
Okay. Well, let me just add to what Dr. Aino has said. I'm sure if you are here, you would also agree that even for the betas, when you take it, you sleep better. Yeah. So I think it's just a combination of a lot of goodies that you have in there. We have some of the ingredients of the betas also available in the balm, and also in addition to the lavender oil, we also have eucalyptus as well.
Yes.
And that's why sometimes when people say, okay, they have a headache or their heads are just kind of woozy and all of that, and they apply, they feel clear. Naturally, the effect of when whatever is tightening up around you gets eased out, you generally feel relaxed, and then the aftermath is to just sleep off. So I think what we have with the balm is just a combination of very exciting things, and it's interesting to note as well, and that's why that's not the topic for today. But I'd just like to put a word out there for people who who use chemicals to change the color of their skin. Whatever you apply to your skin is going straight into your bloodstream. That's it. Okay, so the same way I will take if I take it orally, it will go to my bloodstream anyways. And if I apply topically, it will also go there. Okay, so the effect goes in. I mean, the effect of when I apply it goes in, and it begins to work almost magically. So yeah, so it goes in quite well. And of course, those oils are very well absorbed into the skin, very, very well absorbed into the skin. So their effects are almost immediate many times. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. So balm is doing amazing things. I hope still hearing me. My internet is loud enough. The balm is doing amazing things. Somebody just shared a testimony with her right now that hot oil poured on her, and she used the balm, and the pain and the healing was immediate. And of course, if you look at the balm mixture, you have lavendula, you have eucalyptus, globulus, you have Uvaria chamay, you have peppermint oil, you have Cogulico pilosa, you have the Rida mix, and you have a few other extracts that are oil in nature that goes straight to the bloodstream, and they do amazing wonders there. Okay, still on this journey, I have two hands up. I think they want to ask questions about particular testimonies. I have the hand of Kike Lomo Olajide up, and I have Eugenia Eroebulam. Will you like me to give you voice so that you can ask about the testimony you want to ask about, or do you just put a comment in the box so that I'll know if you are raising up your hand because you want to ask, or you're raising up your hand because it's so easy to raise up your hand online. Okay, somebody is saying something else here as well. It says Rida balm wonderfully takes care of pile, arthritis, catarrh, and cough. The person took it in, drank warm water. Amazingly, the person went to the toilet 4 times. She's not asking how come can balm do such things. Okay, so these are people that are doing dangerous things with some of these products. Dangerous, scary things. Dr. Fumi, I don't know if you have any comments about that. I was shocked when I heard in Oshobo that somebody mixed balm with hot water, drank it, and the person went to toilet, cleared their system, and the person is saying that it's taking care of pile, it's taking care of arthritis, it's taking care of catarrh and cough. What do you have to say about this one?
Well, just like Emma mentioned a few minutes ago, some of the ingredients in Rida bitters are also in the balm. And I guess when they put warm water, maybe it potentiates the action somehow, and it's drunk, they drink it. It would have some of the effects of the bitters, of drinking the bitters as well. Well, I may not want to comment on, actually drinking it, but I mean, they like CM, you said, people are trying, I will say, brave things, and so yeah, the ingredients, they're in Rida bitters. Rida bitters gives those effects as well, and so that would be it.
Okay, great. So
okay, I would just like to say that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Emma.
Yeah, I would like to say that when you have the bitters, you don't need to drink the balm.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the comment I have. I mean, if you can take the balm and put in water, you can. We already have one that you can take topically, so you can do that with the bitters. We also don't want to perpetuate drinking the balm. So yeah, so I just wanted to put that comment. We are not under any doubt that the products work and they are on point. So.
Okay, amazing. So I'm going to allow Mrs. Eugenia Whiskey to have voice shortly. But I think, this case of people topically applying Rida, because Rida also works topically.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also something that we need to look at as well. I've seen 2 remarkable testimonies.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who had an ear problem, I think something like about the fractured, I don't know what they call it in medical terms, but the eardrum had some kind of lacerations for over 20 years. And then the person saw somebody's testimony who poured a little Rida into water and used it for their eyes, and they got amazing relief. And she felt courageous enough to mix it with water and apply a little to her ear as well. And she could not, she's about 60, 64, 65 years old. She was ecstatic about what had happened, as in that this is something she had nursed for years. And she can't believe that this is almost miraculous. Why these topical solutions? What do you think? I want to just, let's put all that out there, since we're talking topical, before we move to some of these very exciting comments and beginning to get in the box. So who wants to go? MI, Dr. Fumi? Yeah.
MI.
Let me start with, let me start with a personal experience of something that happened to me just, I think about 3 days ago. I was making, I was trying to make swallow. So, I mean, the water was already hot. Yeah. I just poured the flour and I was mixing it very vigorously so that it would not have cocoa. Yeah. And when I was mixing it very quickly, it just splashed, and some just went very hot. I mean, on like 3 parts of my face. And It was really, I knew that, as a woman, when something hot has made a mark, you know that this one is not ordinary, not something you brush away. So as soon as I settled what I was doing, I just went for my bottle of Rida, put a little amount of it in the cover, and I applied it at the different points. I left it like that, and later in the night, I saw that there was actually supposed to be a scar. There was supposed to be like a scar of some sort. And now it's totally cleared up. I had the option of putting the balm, but I knew that what I had was like a growing open wound. And if I would put the balm, the pain was going to be too much for me. So as soon as I applied the bitters, I had an initial peppery feeling, but I mean, everything just calmed down. And within about 2-3 hours, I felt a lot better. By the next day, I applied again, and totally now I don't even have any scar, at all. So for the bitters, I mean, I wouldn't even say no to anyone who wants to use it topically for the same reasons I said earlier. To say that when you apply topically as well, it does go into your bloodstream. There's some regenerative work that would happen when you apply topically as well. Another very interesting example of something that is not bad to also use for topical is some really serious pile issue. Yeah, I've had a few people use this and it's been very, very good for them. Okay, apart from taking it orally, we encourage people to apply, to take maybe like a cup or so and do like a sit bath with put the bitters in water and do like a sit bath. It works like magic, yeah? Because you are taking the localized area where the challenge is and you're subjecting it to the medication. It works
directly.
Directly. You're putting directly. So it works very fast. So topical any day would work. While there are some places I might not be able to, like Madam Felicia, I saw that in a sensitive area. There are some areas you cannot put the balm, but you can put the bitters. And interestingly, you can also put the body butter. I had an experience also a bit around the sensitive area. I couldn't use the balm, okay? I used the body butter. And, by the time by the 3rd day, I was as good as good. Yeah, so topical is good, for the bitters any day. I wouldn't say no to that.
Okay. Yeah. Dr. Fumi.
Yes. The thing is that because there's this anti-inflammatory properties, using it topically, you see, sometimes when we go through the properties of Rida products, sometimes we don't remember that these properties are actually there, like the anti-inflammatory properties. So if the balm or even the bitters are said to have anti-inflammatory properties, then they do. So it would not be surprising really that they would be effective with topical use. It's just that maybe we're not, how do I put it? We're surprised that, oh, it's supposed to be oral and we use it topically and it works. But it does work.
Okay, great. So I have a few people who are sharing testimonies here. So Mrs. Eugenia, I saw Mrs. Eugenia's hand up. I saw Mrs. Dupe's hands up. So get ready to ask your questions and share your testimonies. But I have somebody here who says, a customer has told me before that she licked the balm and it relieved her cough and cold. So we see that those kind of things work as well. Someone says bitters and Rida capsules. Do they do the same thing? Yes, the answer is yes. They do the same things. Someone says, actually, I have grade 2 hemorrhoids. Somebody is sharing this. I have grade 2 hemorrhoids and I was placed on Rida bitters, although initially skeptical about the MOA. Dr. Fumi will know what MOA means. Maybe mode of application. I noticed immediate symptomatic relief after the second dose. So this person possibly has a medical background as well, because when I'm hearing symptomatic and I'm hearing those kind of things, it sounds like the area. So she said she noticed immediate symptomatic relief. So this is topical application, I believe, as well, of Rida bitters. Somebody says, drastic situation demands drastic measures. Okay, that's why they drank the balm. My sister drops in her ears without mixing. Okay. Someone says, testimony of a customer. I gave her the bitters and she came back to testify that her cycle, which had stopped a month ago, started after using the bitters. Okay, so let me give voice. I also have a question here from someone who is asking about glaucoma. And I know we have a few glaucoma testimonies as well of people whose eyesight have improved since they started taking Rida. But let me allow Madam Eugenia, you have voice. Please, you can speak. You can show your face as well so that it doesn't go bad on our optics. You can unmute.
Show my face. Good afternoon.
Okay, just go ahead with your voice.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Fumi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Temitope Akiyemi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Steve. And I'm very excited to share about this new testimony. And it's coming from one of my downlines. He's a man. He said to me that he suffered from what he called burning mouth syndrome. I'm sure Dr. Fumi is familiar with it. Burning mouth syndrome. I don't know what that is all about. He said that he felt like his face, his whole mouth, his face was in flames. And that he was, out of desperation, he went online to search for what could possibly cause it. That he could remember that he had it once in a long while when he was a teenager. But this time around, that he had it and he was worried about what could cause it. Really, his mouth was literally on fire. So he couldn't there was no cure for it. So because he's a distributor of Green Mondays, it was prompted in his mind to take the Herbal bitters, the 30 meals. Okay. He said that as he took the first 10 meals, he felt a calmness around his mouth. The next day, in the night he repeated it. The next day he got absolutely better, but he had to finish that little bottle just so that it would not be wasted. So, and that bingo, he got relieved. He got permanently healed by from the syndrome, mouth burning syndrome. I don't know what it is. I've not heard from it before, but I'm sure that Dr. Fumi can relate.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Eugenia. Please, can we comment on this mouth burning syndrome? What exactly is going on here?
Yeah, well, burning mouth syndrome, it's a condition where there's recurrent burning sensation in the mouth, but no cause has been found. There's no known cause of it, and it could come on gradually, it could be acute, but there's no known cause. And I think I go back to what I was saying about unexplained infertility. I mean, if we look at the ingredients in Rida bitters, it's anti-inflammatory, analgesic, and again, no cause has been found. Obviously, a lot of research must have been done into it, and yet, could it be free radical mediated? again. You know, so the anti-inflammatory properties of Rida, the analgesic properties of the ingredients in Rida would help. But if there's free radicals involved, oxidative stress, we say that Rida works from the cellular level. It has probably taken care of whatever it was that was deficient or whatever it was that was going on at the cellular level. That's the only way I can explain it.
Yes, ma'am. You have said it.
Now, we are riding close to the end of time very quickly, and I know that people don't want this to end so quickly, but the beautiful thing is this continues again tomorrow. And tomorrow, the style will be different tomorrow. Tomorrow, you can come with somebody has this challenge. What do you think will work? What do you think we should recommend? Because I know people like to ask those questions. I know it's in A to Z of what people can use things for, but people like to hear voice. They like to hear an authority say, okay, try that bitters milk with a little cleanser. You know, then when you're done with that, add restore to it, and then use balm and all those kind of things. But I'd like us to take a few more before we wrap it up today. I hope we're all aligned. We didn't start off kick off quite early, so it's good that we take a few of these things. So someone is saying here, and I wanted Mrs. Dipper to share it with her own voice directly. But let me get this person to talk. 1 minute, please, Mrs. Osho Olanike Ibola. 1 minute, you can have voice. I'd like you to unmute, do a 1 minute conversation while get prepared for this. Somebody says, please explain what happened. A friend applied Rida liquid with cotton wool on a protruding anus and it went in without surgery. Is this spiritual or what? The person is asking that. What's going on there? You know, is this medicine? Is this science? Or is this spiritual? And somebody is also asking, how come bitters helps people sleep? At the same time, it helps make some people feel hyperactive. What's going on? How can something make you hyperactive, energetic, and at the same time is able to help you sleep at night? What exactly is going on there? So we have these questions as the ones we'll use to wrap up today. Mrs. Osho, you have voice.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'm here. I had a testimony from Jos. There is an old woman. She has Parkinson and is leading to death. She's getting to a stage that she couldn't hear well. So when my sister-in-law now introduced Rida bitters to her, she took Rida bitters in the night. The following day, she can hear clearly. Sound. She ran from her house to my sister's house and said, hey, I can hear her hand and everything that is shaking has drastically reduced.
Wow.
Just 1 day use in the morning and in the night. Now in Jos, from me, Rida is moving. Registration is just coming.
Wow.
Gold, platinum. People are using this seriously. So it's awesome. The product, somebody was telling me yesterday that Rida is spiritual. I what do you mean spiritual? He said she sat down, the woman registered last week with gold package. She said she sat down and the spirit telling her that if anybody has any spiritual attack, that she told me, I said, God, why? And that interpretation is not coming to me that there are a war speaking among in Yoruba. Maybe the war is in Rida. So it's working. People are seeing it in the spiritual angle. They have gone so many places to all these herbalists and they couldn't get solution. But the use of Rida like this is like it's Rida that put it there and remove it. So this product is awesome. I just thank God. God bless this company. God bless CA. God bless Dr. Fumi. MI. I really appreciate you. The Lord will continue to strengthen us. We need more of this training of the use of the product. That's what people need now. Because somebody was saying, hey, hope we are not going to administer the product to say you can't. Don't worry. Just read your A to Z PF. You get more knowledge in it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
So from Oshogbo to Jos people, I hope you are hearing.
Wow.
People are entering your markets with miracles. They are doing miracles. They are they are healing the deaf. Dr. Fumi, I love that. Am I? What's going on here? What's going on with this deafness and Parkinson's? What exactly is happening? Hello, what's going on? What can you see here? Is this just oxidative? Is this oxidative stress? Yes.
Well, you know, I'm a doctor. Not that there's nothing spiritual, but I would want to explain it with oxidative stress, even though I think we may be needing to do a bit more research. And when I say research, I'm not saying clinical trials. I'm saying observatory studies on the people who use Rida and have these effects, you know, just have a lot more and that was what I was trying to sort of start or sensitize people towards in the class on, you know, engaging your customers, because the information we take at the baseline, we get at the baseline may help in one day trying to to find out, to see, okay, what is really happening here. I mean, having the information, the age, and, you know, when it started and all those things. Because with something like Parkinson's disease, we might need to sort of have some form of observatory survey or study, you know, so that we can look into it and know exactly what it is, that eventually know exactly what it is that is happening.
Okay, amazing. Emma, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to balance, you know, somebody may be out there and saying, in 1 day, yeah, in 2 days, instance, yeah. And I have someone who's used it for 2 weeks and 3 weeks. The person is a bit better, but the person is not yet there. I would just like to balance it. And that's why, as people who understand science, who understand the body, and that's why many times when the medical team asks questions, people get agitated sometimes and say, just tell me what to use, just tell me what to use. It's deeper than that. And that's why we recommend for anything, and even for the person who uses it and gets instant relief in 24, 48 hours, we tell people still go the route of the 90 days.
Yep.
Yeah. Because, this is cellular level we're talking about. This is work. This is probably damage or whatever that has happened over the years. And you really don't know the extent of work of rejuvenation or whatever that needs to be done before full recovery, you know, happens. So, somebody is out there and the person hasn't gotten there, or the person is not experiencing the 1 day recovery or the instantaneous miracles, as it were, or the person is experiencing it for that matter, please ensure that your communication is 90 days. Yeah, somebody's asking, how long should I take this for? I tell them, please start. In fact, I tell them, start with 90 days. I don't tell them, take it for 90 days. I say, start with a 90-day plan and let's see how it goes. After 30 days, we review. The person is the one that will not come back after whatever time and say, oh, I'm already experiencing this, it's happening in shorter time and all of that. So, we need to have that at the back of our minds. Let the communication be clear. Let people understand that it's not fixing. And that's why, when I spoke about herbal medicine, I think 3 or 4 days ago, I mentioned the fact that herbal medicine needs to be inculcated into our lifestyle as prophylactic or preventive or a lifestyle thing, so that you're not waiting till a cell is damaged or a tissue is damaged or an organ is damaged before you, we want to ensure that we have the maintenance culture even for our health. So when you're referring, this to people, you want to help them embrace it as something they want to use every day. It's good for them, it's good for you as well. So let's have that communication right, and let's push the narrative, very correctly.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to add this comment. I am a spiritual person. I'm a scientist, so I'm also spiritual, and I I feel these people who say, because when you try many things, spiritual usually is the name we give something we don't understand. When we're not able to unravel something, when by observation, our observation has not been able to yield us results, our analysis hasn't given us a linear path, then we, that's what happens. So people go to different people for scientific solutions. It doesn't get solved. So they now go to the Baba spiritualist, who is able to do something more for them, even though it's still herbs that is mixing together. He tries, it doesn't work. Then, they go to where they have prayer meeting and say that, look, it is an arrow from the enemy. This leg that is paining me is not normal. I've tried everything, it's not working. And then, and what we don't realize is, I think some of the beauty of what happens at the cellular level. I think any medication that is able to really address things at cellular level will leave us all surprised.
Yes.
At what is possible. Because the human body is remade every 3-4 years. Everything changes. And if something can really pay attention to something at cellular level, then there are people who probably need to use this for 2-3 years for that organ to be completely replaced with another one. And I think amazing things can be discovered in time in those spaces as well. Now, there's so much, here that wants to happen, and I don't want us to railroad and overrun the time by too much. So as a final person today, because I've promised her that I will allow her to share her question. I have a few questions here. Please, I'm noting them. I'm noting the questions on glaucoma. I'm noting the questions on sleep and activity and being active at the same time. I'm noticing all those things. So what I want us to do is we're going to take those things on tomorrow. But in closing today, I want us to have Mrs. Dipe. She's able to come on video. Let's have somebody who is sharing, show her face and show her voice and ask a question. Mrs. Modipe says, what happened when you applied Rida balm under your feet and the pain you feel every time you wake up in the morning just twice at bedtime and it disappeared? These are really, really exciting things that are happening with people that we can't really explain fully except we look at cellular level. Mrs. Dupe, please face the light. Don't back the light. Face the light. If you face the light, your face will be clearer. Good. Face the light. Okay, excellent. So your question, please. Your question will end with your question tonight.
Okay.
And Dr.
Yes.
Rita. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Doctor, I know, well done. I really appreciate you. Emma, you are doing a good job.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
I greet everyone. I was even, when we were discussing, I was watching and the lady came in. She has just left. Doing, okay, she's still around. She will come now. She now told me, say, mommy, this balm is very, very good. I poured hot oil on my hand and it was very painful. I just decided to take my balm and just rub it there. And that the pain was much, but immediately after that pain, everything went. And look at my hand, it's just like nothing happened. I said, that's the power of Rida for you. She's even still around, she's on phone now. So I now asked again that there's a lady too, the husband was in the car the day she came. And she said that they want to do operation for the husband because the anus was coming out and it was bloody. I believe it's pie. Our local people call it jadi. So she and I told her, I said, well, I will only suggest that you leave the operation for now and let's see what Rida can do with it. So she now left with the Rida bottles and I said, just apply with the cotton wool, put it on the anus and let daddy drink the Rida bitters. But last week she called me that she wants to register because daddy wants more of the products and there are changes now. They are no more doing the operation and everything. Wow. So when she told me that, I said, I only suggested putting it in the anus because when she said it was coming out, my mind just said, okay, let me tell her to do that and let's see how it works. And the thing worked. So that was why I was even saying, I hope this thing is not even spiritual. This one that we are just putting it, guessing it, and the thing is just working like that. So I was so excited about it. So I'm expecting her now to come and do the registration and everything. So that's my testimony on the Rida balm and Rida bitters for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mrs. Dupe. It was good having you around as we wrap up today. As we end today's meeting, I don't know if you have any comments to add to that, but I want to just roll a few things together so that we can put in our parting shots. Just all the few questions hanging around. Somebody's asking a very interesting question. It's a question that many people have asked before, and I'm sure we can nail it here today, so that people can refer to it. He's saying, how come, somebody can use it and get pregnant, and then pregnant people are not allowed to use it? Okay. Somebody's saying, how come it helps you sleep well at night, and then it helps you become active in the morning? And somebody is saying, how come we have the two sides of flip sides of the operations of Rida? And then somebody's asking, what's the use for somebody who has glaucoma, or what's the use for somebody who has multimodular thyroid gland? I think we can end in those conversations as we close today. Dr. Fumi, I know over to you, and then Emma, you can take it from there as we sign off from today's conference.
Okay. You want us to comment?
Just comment on that, and then and then sign out.
Okay. Well, the one about helping, it can help you to get pregnant. At the same time, you're not supposed to use it when you are pregnant. Yeah, I mean, Rida has different properties, and it is possible that one of the properties could be contraction of smooth muscle. This is a postulation, and which could help the movement of the sperm down the fallopian tubes. I'm just postulating. At the same time, if it has that smooth muscle contraction effect, if a person is pregnant, you don't want anything that will contract the uterus. So that's what I can think. I mean, that's what I can postulate could be the reason for that. Regarding some people, it makes some people sleep. It makes some people hyperactive. What I would think is the fact that we're all different. We're all different. We could be different in our chemical makeup. We could be different based on maybe we're on certain medications, or we have certain things going on in us that responds differently to Rida in that respect. I know that for some people, it does both at the same time. What do I mean? Sometimes it helps you sleep. Sometimes it makes you hyperactive. I honestly can't explain that scientifically, but that's it. I don't know whether MI has anything to say about that.
MI, over to you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. I think I'd like to start with the pregnant person. Yeah. Just like when a person is pregnant, there are many medications, many things that are off limits for one clear reason. For the reason of the fact that whatever you take in would almost always pass through the membrane to your baby, to the fetus. That is one strong reason. There are many things that are off the table for a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
So for that one reason is definitely a no-no. Even for young children, there's a minimum age, at which a person can begin to take the Rida range of products. Okay, so for that one singular reason of the fact that whatever you take in when you're pregnant goes to your baby, you don't want to take it in. Yeah, you don't want to, because it's still a fetus, not yet formed. You don't want to take anything in that will pass in when the child is not yet ready to, the child is not born yet. So that's a strong one there. Okay, and of course, Dr. Aina already mentioned the fact that it could affect movement of smooth muscles and all of that. That's another very clear thing. There are so many. When a person is pregnant, the system is no longer the same. So there's what you should take in, there's what you shouldn't take in. So, but those are the really two strong reasons why pregnant people shouldn't take it. Yeah. So that's for the pregnant person. Secondly, the same explanation I gave for glaucoma is for Parkinson is the same thing I would apply to glaucoma. In the case of glaucoma, there's a gradual loss of eyesight, but there's pressure that is building that will degenerate into a condition that will cause total blindness. So, I mean, if a person is already experiencing glaucoma, is already losing the sight, and is taking the Rida range or the Rida bitters, there comes, it kicks in again the concept of regeneration, working at the cellular level, and that's probably why a person who has glaucoma can begin to have recovery of the eyesight. Okay, so yeah, so if a person that has glaucoma, it's a no-brainer, recommend it, and we believe that if it worked for A, it would also work for B. So that's for glaucoma. Then for the person who is asleep and awake, somebody gets active when they take, and another person goes. I think, I don't know whether it has to do with a personality or what it makes in your body, like Dr. Eno said. Sometimes some of us, when we feel good, want to dance. Some people, when they feel good, they just want to chill. So if it gets to you, if Rida gets to you and it makes you really calm and you want to sleep, yeah, so that's how it's working on you. For me, it makes me alert and active. But when I take it and I hit the bed, it doesn't make me sleep at funny hours, but when I hit the bed and I begin to sleep, I sleep very soundly when I take the bitters. Okay, so I don't have a crystal clear explanation for why it would make some sleep and some awake, or active. But I would say that, as it works in your body, whatever is correcting may affect how you now feel. And that's why people feel a bit differently depending on how their current health status, when they take it. So that's the explanation I can give.
Thank you. Thank you very much, MI.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fumi. I know. I think Dr. Rita wants to share some thoughts, even though she's not going to be visible, but she'll be on audio. You have like a minute. Give us your parting
shot. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, Dr. Fumi, MI, and CM. Thank you for this opportunity. Good afternoon to everyone. Well, I wanted to make a few contributions concerning the use of the balm orally. Please, let's stop. I don't think there's any point using the balm orally when you can as well use it for steaming. You use it for steaming and get the same results. And you can as well take the bitters and have the same results. So why take the balm orally? I know we already have, in the process of formulation, we have ointment base in the balm, and it actually shouldn't be taken orally. So there's no need for that. We already have something that can do the same thing. So let's just stick to the safe plane. Okay. Now, regarding sleep, and well, we all know from general discussions and all that Rida Herbal bitters and its variants have super antioxidant properties, and they repair cells at the basic level. So my thoughts on this is, usually at night, I don't know how many of us know that in the night we have something called melatonin that is secreted. And as a person gets older, the secretion is decreased, as in the rate of secretion is decreased, and this also affects their sleep. So once Rida comes in and does what it does and helps the cell, that's where I'm taking this. So once it helps the cell, so I believe it also helps in the secretion of melatonin. So this also enables people sleep better at night. While you take it during the day, you are alert. At night, you have melatonin coming out and it helps you sleep better. So it just basically takes everyone back to the way God created them. So it's a beautiful thing. So Amazing. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rita. That's beautiful. I think for tomorrow's conference, please prepare to be visual. I think we also have another panelist that will join us tomorrow. I can see that Mrs. Ogulesi is a trained nurse and midwife. So she'll be joining us in the conversation tomorrow on the panel. So please get ready to be seen as well. And of course, we're going to have a few more people in the house. I can see this lady, Aishishi. I don't know, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I also think that there's a medical voice in that comment that was shared as Shishie. It doesn't look like it's from Nigeria, but it looks like this person also has medical history as well. So tomorrow we're going to bring you on board to join us on this panel. I want to say a big thank you, and I want you to help me celebrate and say a big thank you to Dr. Fumi Aino and Temitope Akinyemi, aka MI, for their support today, for participating today. Please help me give them hand claps, emoticons, drop it in the window, just put the clap there, show the hand. If you've had an exciting time today, just say yeah. And of course, this video is going to be available at the back office. I think it's going to be a powerful resource for people that need to know more about what Rida does and how Rida works. Thank you very much, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, Dr. Fumi Ano. Thank you,
Pleasure.
MI. It's been my pleasure being MC today. Just basically asking the questions. It's been fun.